Hey, everybody, welcome to Noir Bar. Hopefully you can hear me. God damn, what a fight to go live. Jack, how you doing?
Holly.
Yeah, it's good times, good times. You know, so I'm gonna start out. Fuck you, YouTube. That's where I want to start. Fuck you. You're and I'm hearing myself echo back on myself. I wonder why that is.
Oh, I'm hearing you now too.
Oh, I know why. I know why, because I've got the stream open in another tab. And why, might you ask, do I have the stream open in another tab? The fuck is that shit for? Well, I'll tell you. The only way that I could capture the chat, as I normally do, you see it in the blackboard up to the top right-hand corner of your screen there. I couldn't capture it as normal by popping out the chat, grabbing the URL, and pasting it into OBS because it wasn't accepting the custom CSS code that I had taken a couple hours to write to have it that color and to fit into the tiny frame there. You have to do that by hand. The new YouTube Creator Studio that I was forced to use today, Studio Beta, does not allow you to capture pop-out chat from Creator Studio. So you have to open your own stream, pop out the chat from that stream, and take that URL and paste it in. Oh my god. I don't think they hate me personally down in Mountain View, California, but people like me, you know?
Well, they hate all YouTubers.
You think so?
Yeah. If you're not mainstream news outlet, I'm pretty sure they hate all of us.
I don't know, guys. I don't know, chat. I don't know what the story is. I don't know what to do from here. See, I've noticed that a bunch of content creators that I follow, people that do edited videos as well as streams, a bunch of them following the death of Hangouts on air, a number of them started using OBS. I was one of them. And I have seen 5 of them now move over to paid StreamYards rather than continue with the rigmarole and the bullshit fest and the merry-go-round of fuckery that is trying to OBS stream with YouTube.
Yeah, I think YouTube's trying to keep OBS from being a real thing on here.
Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, that would be Ethan Van Sciver was one of them. Weebo Jones. Scribe Light.
Yeah. Monkey.
Well, Monkey never tried OBS first. He didn't go OBS, and then it was such a headache. Fuck it, I'm moving over to StreamYard.
No, but I'm sure that he saw how bad it was for everybody else.
Yeah. Oh, zombies. The ego on Polly. I said it wasn't me that they're trying to fuck over. I'm fairly certain they don't know I exist. I'm just talking about small YouTube creators, very small YouTube creators in general, and amongst which I number. And wow, this forced migration over to YouTube beta. Nobody wanted to use it, to the point where they started including polls where they would put you over to YouTube beta automatically, but you could force it back to Studio Creator Classic. And yeah. It would so many people did that they included an automatic poll in it. Why are you leaving Studio Beta? What's wrong with it?
So damn slow, mainly, and I can't find anything.
Yeah, I can't find anything. It's, you guys need to get with some software engineers that understand what intuitive means, because what you've done is the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Ryan Walters asked me, did I happen to set their wildfires? I did not set those wildfires. That's are they the work of arsonists? The wildfires right now?
Nah, it sounds like it's more they didn't clear a bunch of brush that was underneath like some power lines or something.
Well, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Well, they don't do controlled burns very much out there, so no, I'm not surprised.
Oh shit. Pete's telling us that our security's telling him he's too drunk to come in. And he doesn't fit the dress code. Fuck him.
No such thing as too drunk.
Yeah, come in the back door. It's fine. We'll let you in. It's right behind the bar. Shit. We don't deny entry. Oh yeah, so Jack, I was telling you before stream, and then I got caught up trying to put out all the fucking little fires that started with setup. So I downloaded or went to YouTube and watched some commercials and some partial episodes of this old show V you were talking about.
Uh-huh. From the 80s?
Yeah. I'm not saying the show's bad, because it's got Michael Ironside, so by definition is automatically some degree of good.
Uh-huh.
Right? But I don't know. People running around and lizard people from another planet running around in human masks. This isn't the kind of thing you want a lot of people to see. This is going to fulfill a lot of expectations. Am I wrong?
It was pretty big hit for a while because it started as a mini series, like a TV movie.
Right.
It was pretty top notch. But I liked the show. I thought it was fun. But I was also like in 6th grade, so.
Have you gone back and watched it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but nostalgia glasses and all.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, it's a product of its time. You know, there weren't that many choices to watch shows, so you kind of got stuck with the sci-fi that was thrown at you.
Well, I did like how, like, the chief alien, what's her name?
Diana.
Diana. Yeah, I love how they picked like the typical stereotypical hot 80s brunette to play her.
Yeah.
It's like, that's cool. Man, her hair was bigger than her head. It was great.
Even the reptiles have to use a lot of hairspray.
Yeah, Jake Thompson's asking what show. V. Yeah. It and then John Connors that talked about the remake. I've never even seen it.
Yeah, it had the chick from what's the school movie with Will Ferrell. Where they go back to college.
Oh, the one from that old show King of Queens, the one who left Scientology?
No, not her, the blonde.
Oh, you got me then.
She was on like Grey's Anatomy or some shit, I think. Somebody like that. Some blonde chick you'd recognize from other shows.
Right.
And the chick that's played the doctor on Gotham. Leslie Tompkins.
Okay.
She's in it. And yeah, there's a lot of people you'll recognize. That's my point. I'm really tired.
No, that's fine. Like I said, running this stream mostly to get a little bit of practice at
Old school. Thank you, Gunsky.
Oh, well, yeah, I knew the name of the movie. I thought you were trying to remember the name of the actress.
Well, I was trying to remember both, and it's like 4:30 in the morning here. So
yeah, well,
I got my brain kind of short-circuited.
Yeah, it's getting on. It's getting on.
Yeah, Robert Englund's in the show too, so that's
cool. Yeah, very oddly young-looking Robert Englund. That Freddy makeup makes him look much older.
Yeah,
because I mean, the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie, that couldn't have been that far off from when V was airing, could it?
I don't know. I'll look it up real quick. I think they were pretty close together. Because he's not as old as he kind of looks sometimes, because he's an odd-looking man.
Robert Englund.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a traditionally handsome man, you know?
He's not the strapping individual that a lot of people care to be.
No, he's what I believe the term we used to use was creepy and weird.
Yeah, well, that's why he got the job playing Freddy, I mean.
Oh, shit. He was born in 47. He's older than I thought. Let's see. Yeah, V was 84, and Nightmare on Elm Street was the same year.
Well, all right. He really does look a hell of a lot older under that makeup. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, the TV miniseries was 83, so he was in his 30s at least. I can't math, so I went to public school.
I understand how it is. You know what I'm really confused by? Like I said, I'm keeping an eye on the way everything's running here because there's so many things to keep an eye on with the studio beta. Make sure everything's up and running. So sorry, chat, if I was going to keep drifting off into what the hell's that thing kind of stuff. Oh, and I also have spent yesterday evening setting up the first of the super chat notification pop-ups. So those happen now. Not only will I see your super chats to be able to read them, but also there will be pop-ups on screen with sexy girl noir imagery. A lot of Jessica Alba in there.
Yeah.
Now, it's not just because she's on in both Sin City movies either, although that had a lot to do with it.
It's also because she's smoking hot.
It is because she's in fact smoking hot. Yes. The the $2 notification is just a girl talking about how she's too drunk to stand up with Ava Green toasting. It's pretty cool. Oh, and the sound of a frothy beer pouring in the background.
Oh.
I just didn't want to grab GIFs off of Giphy or Google image search or whatever and put them up. They're all custom. Every one of them is custom. And every single one of them, by the way, either deliberately black and whited and then a sepia tone added to them in Photoshop. So they fit with the decor and the theme. So I'm pretty proud of them. Not that I pull in a lot of Streamlabs donations, but when I do, it'll look cool.
Well, if you don't like pomp and circumstance, then feel free to give me some money because you're not getting any visuals for that.
Okay.
I'm not running anything. It's all too damn complicated. And I listen to everybody complaining about how pain in the ass this all is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the most straightforward thing in the world.
It gets more complicated every time they update something.
Well, you're not wrong about that at all. Like, even a little. Ramanul says Jessica Alba, like as in Elektra? No, that would be Jennifer Garner.
Yeah.
Although, no, Jennifer Garner is a better Elektra.
The chick they had on the Daredevil TV series was pretty good, I thought.
Yes.
She was at least looking exotic. Jennifer Garner was like, I'm your high school cheerleader cosplaying as Elektra.
Well, hold on now. You leave Jennifer Garner out of this, okay? She gets a huge pass from me, all right?
Oh, she'd get a huge something, but she did not fit the type at all. She's lucky she's pretty. That's all she had going there.
Did Jessica Alba fit the type for gritty Nancy Callahan, especially in Sin City 2?
There's a certain amount of grittiness that I could see Jessica Alba having. Like a certain, like, daddy issues kind of thing.
Oh, well, she certainly had daddy issues as Nancy Callahan. Holy shit.
Like, yeah, it's awesome. It fulfills multiple fantasies at one time.
I actually went looking for certain clips that I wanted to use from Sin City 2, Dame to Kill for pop-up stuff. And couldn't find them. I'm just going to have to watch that movie from the beginning over again, which is not the worst thing. But I couldn't find what I was looking just by poking around.
That's an excuse to watch it again. Oh, hey, I just got notified that we're live.
Oh, excellent.
YouTube.
Yep.
Job.
Yeah, by the way.
Now tell Twitter how to do that.
By the way, speaking of which, if anyone's wondering what the hell happened to Jack, nothing. Apparently, he was sitting there reading comics, unaware that he had been sent a link to the Hangout from which we stream from.
I was sitting right in front of my computer, comics open, Twitter up, ready to go. You know how it shows you the little blue number when you get a message?
Sure. Yeah, the notification badge.
Never notified. The only thing I saw was a notification came up with the little bell, and I clicked on it, and it was Pete saying, "Hey, man, where are you?" And I'm like, "What the fuck's going on? You guys streaming or what?" I'm like, "I don't know. Where are we?" And then I was like, "Oh, maybe I should actually click on the folder and see what's up." And, there were 3 notifications in there. There was one from one of my IRL friends, one from Shady, and one from Quiz saying, "Where the fuck are you?"
So Pete just set up the first donation. Where he said, "Thank you, Pete, for the $3. Just want to see my sexy pop-up if it's not sexy enough. So nothing else might pop up. So nothing else might pop up, I'm assuming. Winky face. Hold on. Pete, you really were too drunk to get in, weren't you? Our doorman was right, by God. That doesn't make any sense at all. Let me, in case chat didn't hear it, I'm going to run another test on it. Because again, I'm not Sinatra Says over here. I don't have fucking 4 years of experience of running fucking widgets and alert boxes and shit. Let's see.
Yeah, it's kind of the downside of those notifications is I can't hear them until they go up on the. I only see them if I'm looking at the chat.
Yeah. See
So
what?
I'll end up talking over them. Sorry.
Well, in this, I don't know if you've ever streamed with Sinatra. Even
No.
though, as like the NASA computer that guy has, that could like literally run Kennedy Space Station if they or Space Center if they required him to, he still hasn't wired a whatchamacallit, a virtual audio cable, so the other people that are in the Hangouts, like we are right now, can hear the streams when they go off. So when you're streaming with him, he's forever going, like trying to get you to shut up because you'll be talking over the fucking notification. So yeah, I've got to get a virtual audio cable, which I do have running, so you can hear the fucking pop-ups when they go off as well, both here and on Comic Book Curation. Oh, I get it. If it's sexy enough, something else might pop up. You were talking about your dick. I get it.
Yeah, so that's what happened today, guys. I just never got the notification that they were ready to go. So I was sitting here for like 2.5 hours, like do. Got a lot of reading done.
Nice. Let me see. Open alert variations. Holy shit, is Streamlabs.com unintuitive and complicated? They could teach YouTube lessons on how to complicate shit. Let's do a test on the donation notification that Pete just set off. There we go.
I am drunk, so drunk, I cannot get up.
It's a girl saying, I am drunk, so drunk, I cannot get up. It's a clip I took from a Bret Easton Ellis audiobook. It's one of his characters, Lauren, talking, who drinks far too much.
Wow.
Yes. And there is a certain notification in there that has, and then the images of Ava Green toasting while saying, I'm so drunk I can't get up. But there also is another hidden notification that goes on in there. That is Ava Green completely naked, sitting on a bed with a cigarette. Covered by shadows, of course. All of the right areas are shadowed. But she's completely naked on that bed. Pretty awesome.
She's not naked if there's shadows on her.
Well, ladies in chat, like, I mean, Ebony's here. Ebony, if you're naked, but there happens to be shadows in the room, aren't you still naked? Come on. Yeah. Fuck, uploading these. Oh, yeah. And then, so there's also an entire set of, it was super quiet for you, Functional. I can turn it way the fuck up if you'd like. Let's see. Oh, yeah. When Sinatra says that he has no control over the volume of his notifications, yeah, he's lying. It's all a lie. The volume's at 28%. Let's put it up to 75. How about that?
Damn.
There we go. Did you ever watch that show that Jessica Alba was in back in the day, the TV show?
Dark Angel?
Dark Angel, yeah.
I saw a few episodes of it. I didn't care for it at the time. It's to me, it was a lot like these CW shows. It was a little too much over the top and drama.
Yep, that's pretty much exactly what it was. It was like supposed to be James Cameron produced super action film, and it really ended up being a vehicle for Jessica Alba to look hot, and it succeeded, in that regard. And the whole story was in Jessica Alba's personal dramas.
Yeah. Did you ever see Mantis?
No. Like based off of Marvel Comics Mantis?
No.
Okay.
No, this was about a black scientist who was crippled, like from the waist down.
Okay.
And he built an exosuit that was supposed to help him learn, like, be able to walk again, but he used it to fight crime. And the premise was really cool. It had a garbage budget, but the premise was great. The actor that played Mantis was really good. And they reused a lot of footage, like scenes where he was rolling around and stuff like that. That was always recycled. But that show had a lot of action and at least was like proactive. If they had made that now, it would have been an awesome show. Because, that was in, I want to say, the late 90s, early 2000s. So the CG wasn't quite there yet to where it was affordable.
Right.
And green screens and all that.
Right.
But it had a lot of potential. And I'd recommend checking it out if you ever get the chance.
What year?
It was sometime in the 90s, I want to say. Hold on, I'll find you a link.
Okay. No, Far's in chat. Yay, Far. And, oh man, 6 minutes is here. Hey, 6. So, Sadistic Atheist says Ava Green has been full frontal in a lot of movies. Yeah, you're not even close to being wrong. Like, I mean, the first major film that she did has multiple sex scenes in it. It's that lady has never been shy about being unclothed in front of a camera. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it was like Glass plus RoboCop. Thank you, Ryan Walters. Yeah, it was like 93, 94. I was actually it was even older than I thought. I'd watch that late at night because they replayed that with Forever Night and 2. 2 was an awesome show.
You know what bugged me about Dark Angel? They wrote this part into the story. Like, who is it that just said that here? It was Ramen Noodles. I tried watching Dark Angel. It wasn't very good. Yeah, okay. I remember a couple of things that like stand out from that series where it's just like, really? Because they were just so bad. You know what I mean? They wrote this like she was, I forget the detail of it, but somehow crossed with cat DNA. Like that was part of her powers, And so she had like feline speed and etc. Dexterity and strength and stuff. The proportional strength of a cat. But it made her go into heat every month.
Nice.
So or whatever period of time it was. So there were like episodes of the show where the whole show was about her just being too horny to bear. That she just like had to like lock herself off and go drive her motorcycle around because every time she'd get near guys, she would just be horny as hell. And Jack, I agree with you. You think it would be like nice. No, it was just bad.
It's all emo and boring.
No, it was her.
She wasn't pulling trains on groups of fraternity guys or anything.
No, Jesus Christ, I wouldn't even want to see that.
Well, maybe you want. I think there's an audience out there, personally. Oh yeah, Viper. I forgot about Viper, James. Good call. There were a lot of great cheeseball superhero shows. Automan. There was another one that was like Automan. And Viper. I forgot about that one. Thunder in Paradise. There was one about a ghost of a pirate that hung out on a modern boat and they solved crimes together.
What?
Yeah, it was awesome.
That does.
Like the premise was so dumb, but I was like, I kind of like this crap. Like it's bad, but you don't care.
The ghost of a pirate was on a modern day ship, and he partnered up with someone and solved crimes.
Yeah, it was like a superhero on a speedboat, like Airwolf, but on the water. Like they were always having to like work in a reason to bring out this boat.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Stargazers. Yeah, okay, Stargazers. Hey, Stargazer, how's it going?
Hey, Stargazer.
The lady who never sleeps.
Oh, The Greatest American Hero. That was a classic, too. Stripperella. Yeah, that's another good one.
No, I'm forced to disagree there.
What? How did you not like Stripperella?
Stan Lee's Stripperella with fucking, what's her nuts?
Pamela Anderson, yeah.
That's, no. Not good. If you want to do, you can always go with, I don't know, Fritz the Cat if you wanted something, like, sexy that was a cartoon and you're not into hentai.
Fritz the Cat? What?
Yeah, you don't remember Fritz?
Yeah, but I don't know how that's sexy at all. That's like saying Betty Boop's freakishly large head is your fetish. The 100 Lives of Blackjack Savage. That was the name of the show.
Oh. Well, that's actually disappointing, Far. She bought a tube of chicken salt Pringles, and they suck.
That's not where I thought that sentence was going.
That's kind of disappointing. What did you think I was going to say?
No, she bought a tube of
Pringles, man. Come on. There's lots of things that are sold in tube other than KY, you perv.
Maybe for you.
Actually, speaking of which, let me tell you something. Don't judge me, chat. They're going to judge me, Jack. I've been playing this free-to-play mobile game. It's a ripoff of Galaga. You remember Galaga?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Great game. Classic.
Yeah, I've got it on my phone.
Okay. I wanted to play like a fancy-ass, done-up version of Galaga, because Galaga's awesome. So I started playing this game called Alien Shooter.
Oh, God, that's a terrible one.
Well, anyway, I started playing it, right? And I'm drawn in and suddenly realizing all of the things that I've heard about free-to-play games, all the tactics, all of the
microtransaction lures.
Yeah, the sucker moves, the fool traps that they've set up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm not giving them any IRL money. Fuck you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So they try and make it, but all of the ways they try pressuring you into it, where it's like you get to a certain point and you can't get beyond that unless you power up your ship and buy additional armors and weapons, or you're just going to keep dying. And you get sick of dying, and if you want to keep playing the game, well, it only costs 99 cents or $1.99 for this armor package, that kind of thing, right? And so
that's the genius of it.
Yeah, so I'm living the complaints that I've heard about. It's like, oh my God, like constant realizations of this is what they were referring to while I'm trying to play it. But there's a way around, I'd say, I don't know, half of it, where you can watch an ad to, I don't know, the in-game currencies are coins and crystals, okay? So, oh, shit. Glad there's a notification sound. Oh, I don't have a donation one set up for $1. What a ripoff. Thank you.
Yeah, look at you, greedy.
Well, that didn't occur to me. I'm working. Listen, you know how many donation notifications I set up yesterday? For Noir Bar, I set up ones for 5, 10, 2, 8, and 20. And for Comic Book Curation, 5, 2, 10, and 20. I'm still working at it. I'm planning on doing ones for 1 through 10, and then 12, 15, 20, 25, and then
1488.
1488, of course. There'll be a 1776.
$69.
Of course. Thinking of ripping off Sinatra and 4321, $43.21 will be an explosion. But he just went with an atomic bomb that's really loud. I'm thinking of going with an explosion of, I don't know. YouTube headquarters wouldn't be good. Something. I don't know.
No.
I'll figure it out. Ebony asked, did you see my answer? Yes, by the way, for those who didn't, Ebony has confirmed my suspicion that shadows do not count as clothes. A naked woman in shadows is still naked.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to agree to disagree there.
Is that what it was? BG says genetically engineered super soldier. She was one of many, but she escaped from the government. Was Jessica Alba's backstory in Dark
Probably.
Angel? The only thing I remember of the backstory specifically is because they said it in the intro of every episode that terrorists set off a bomb and it electromagnetically fried all electronic stuff. So they were in kind of quasi 1700s time.
Yeah.
Because nothing electronic worked or something to that effect. Well, we know what that would be today. White supremacists from Alabama supporting Donald Trump set off an explosive device that...
Well, obviously.
Have you been continuing to watch, speaking of white supremacists as the evil of all evils? Have you been continuing to watch Watchmen?
No.
No?
I don't have HBO. I watched it at one of my friends' houses.
Oh, yeah, well, I can't blame you.
I was like, this is terrible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's kind of confirmed that for me.
Oh, man, it just gets worse. And Regina King, the star, is... she's getting a little salty about the backlash, and you can tell she's reading about it. See, there's this thing that I've heard repeatedly. All actors liked to be liked, and in fact have a need to be liked. This was a big point that Bret Easton Ellis wrote in his first nonfiction book when talking about every actor I've ever met, and he's written a lot of scripts and worked in Hollywood for quite some time. There isn't a single actor that doesn't Google themselves every day or have someone do it for them to see.
Yeah, they're a bunch of fucking narcissists.
This is or is it a species of narcissism if somebody doesn't actually think they're very good but is still obsessed with their self-image?
Well, almost every Hollywood personality type that I've ever seen, they're a bunch of like self-loathing, hypercritical types that they're never going to be good enough in their own head. And
Right.
They all have body issues and stuff like that.
Sure.
Oh, I put on a pound. I'm super fat now. Look how fat I am. Shut up.
Yeah. Well, he makes this point that they look themselves up constantly. And so that makes me think that Regina King, I don't think it was your PR agent or your personal manager or whoever. 'Cause, I mean, she's a big star. She's an Oscar winner, etc. I know she's got all those type of managers and agents around her. I thought that they had just informed her of this. No, I think she's been reading it herself because she's referring very specifically to things that are being said about that show. This is just stirring the pot of racial anxiety. What the fuck? There's no art in this. It's almost revenge porn. Not revenge porn now as a, that's like when you put up sex tapes.
It's cinematic chick track. That's all it is.
Yeah. This sort of revenge fantasy for a lot of people who don't necessarily even feel vengeful.
They feel vengeful. I assure you. They're very angry people.
Who's they?
The people that put this shit together.
You think Damon Lindelof is vengeful?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
how it seems to me.
I don't see it as vengeful. I see it as he said so much in that one quote. He said so much in that one line. Remember, I quoted like 3 times on Comic Book Curation because it just says so much. The original Watchmen comic book, the central underlying tension was the threat of atomic warfare between the Soviet Union and the United States. Undoubtedly, the equal of that today is policing and race relations in America.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
No,
neither
do I.
I think this is good.
I'm just saying, I don't buy that either. I think what he revealed when he said that is, I'm a hack writer. I couldn't think of anything that was on the level of that, of like a central underlying tension of an existential threat, a threat to the entire nation. Everyone fucking dies. Because that is the pressure that's going on with the superheroes in Watchmen. You know what I mean? And what the supervillain is up to and who he's trying to motivate towards atomic warfare. You've got nothing like that in Lindelof. So it's like, what other nerve can I push on? And the most imaginative thing that this fucking hack could come up with, the genius behind Lost, I might add, the brilliant writer behind that fucking script that went nowhere, the Alien prequel, fucking Prometheus, same guy, same writer, and could come up with is race. best he could do.
It's lazy wokeness for the modern day, because they all lack creativity anymore. There's no pressure to be creative. You just pick a pseudo woke talking point and write about it. That's it. It's laziness. You could literally do this with the D20.
I agree. It is born of laziness, and it is faux tension. Do you know what it is? False tension. Well, it's not real tension. You're having to manufacture it. You had to go back to the destruction of Black Wall Street to play out the tension that you're saying now exists decades after that, because you know it doesn't exist on that level and anywhere near the level of atomic warfare. And there's no one who's currently a nation level threat. Do you know what I mean? And he's not going to write Islamic terrorism as the central pressure. He's not.
Well, no. Oh my God.
No, it's
not a monster, Polly.
Really quick, I wanted to read Race Jacobson's donation. Thank you for the donation, Race. Anyone remember Masked Rider? The half-baked adaptation of Kamen Rider RX Black? Don't worry, you don't need to. Do you remember it, Jack? If anyone's going to remember this, it's you.
Yeah, I remember Masked Rider. My nephew watched that.
Fill me in. I'm curious as to what Race was referring to. That's what's the story there?
It's a knockoff of a Japanese show. It was like Power Rangers. They took Japanese footage, edited it up, and added some local talent, or whiteys, as I would call it.
Okay.
So instead of a Japanese show, it's about half Japanese and half American.
Okay. Yeah. I was just thinking about like how many shows have, you know what needs to be adapted just for laughs? The Japanese Spider-Man.
That'd improve on some of what Nick Spencer's doing.
What?
Nick Spencer,
yeah,
the writer for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Japanese Spider-Man would be an improvement over what he's doing.
Oh, it's an improvement. I thought it would somewhat prove what he's doing. I'm like,
no,
he's not ripping off Japanese Spider-Man with his giant armored vehicle, is he?
Yeah, no, but that would be awesome.
You're goddamn right it would be.
Spider-Man's mech. Let me go to my spider cave. Yeah, Kamen Rider was actually pretty good if you watched the Japanese version of it. But they had a bunch of those, was it like Big Bad Beetleborgs and VR Troopers? And my nephew watched all that shit. Not really my thing, but I've seen them all because, you're bound to at some point.
So, there's the question. So you have D-Man57 says, when in doubt, C4 Explosion is 4321 donation. Or a Moab. Okay, not bad. I could come up with some pretty clever stuff for comic book curation for 4321. But how do you be period specific to the 1940s, 50s era of Noir Bar with an explosion? I mean, you could do 1950s test footage from like the New Mexico desert, but no one's going to know that that's all, actually.
You can go back a little further and show like some bootlegger's car blowing up.
Yeah. I could grab that scene out of the beginning of Untouchables when they blow up the bar that's not playing ball.
Yeah. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre or something like that.
That's...
I don't know. I don't know anything about history.
Yes, you do.
I'm an English major. I will not be held to these standards, Polly.
I was asking for imagination, not specific knowledge. It's all guesswork, Jack.
I vote for the sinking of the Lusitania. That was filmed, wasn't it? I got nothing.
You got nothing? And Ray's pointed out, the EMP in Dark Angel was that it blew all the bank databases, sending America to the third world.
So we became Detroit.
Ouch. We might have listeners in Detroit, Jack. Jesus.
Yeah, I've been to Detroit. If you live in Detroit, move.
Yeah, I know. I've been to Detroit in the past, 3 years ago was the last time I went? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I had to give somebody a ride to the Japanese embassy up there, and holy fuck, Detroit sucks.
Yeah, you know what it actually reminded me of, all jokes aside? Fucking Tijuana.
Oh no, it needs more wild dogs roaming the streets. One good cold snap kills them off.
You've been to
Just like the
Tijuana?
homeless here. Bunch of hobos. You can tell winter's coming when the hobos migrate south.
Like, you know what blew my mind about Tijuana the most memorable thing? I was like, oh my God, that's an actual thing. Stop telling me I'm stereotyping. There was a whole bunch of homeless guys with giant sombreros sitting down on the edges of the roads with their sombreros pulled down and their knees up to their chest. So it looked like a little tiny person under a giant sombrero.
And you can't take pictures because they'll steal your camera.
And I was like, that's not a stereotype. Look, actual
No.
Mexicans sitting there with giant sombreros in that position. It's not made up.
Yeah. And everything pointy there looks like it's going to give you tetanus.
Oh man, I have never seen. I did not think that streets could get that dirty. Sidewalks that cracked. Holy fuck. I don't
My
know.
old roommate, he's this big dumb idiot. He had a friend who was a weasel. Like everybody thought that this is the guy you would watch if he was anywhere near your valuables. You know. And he decided he wanted to go to a whorehouse in Tijuana. And that's how he got the chlamydia.
Right? Well, Circus Zero's got a good suggestion. Dynamite, Polly. You could use footage of them using dynamite to flatten land to build the highways. Yeah, but you want it like urban. I like that idea. There's gotta be some, I just gotta think clearly, like some James Cagney film footage of him like lighting, like a cartoon bundle of dynamite sticks to throw in somewhere. It had to happen at least once, right? I just gotta think about it.
There has to be at least like a vault being robbed that they blew up.
Right. Yeah, I just I mean, I've got a bunch of James Cagney films, and that's a good enough reason to go watch a bunch of them again. Another Race Johnson, thank you again for the donation. The apex of shitty adaptations of Japanese shows has to be the Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. It was a poorly acted version of the Gridman full of tweens that was shot like a sitcom. Talk about a clusterfuck. Well, you did a good job of describing it like a clusterfuck. My God.
Yeah, that sounds hilariously bad.
The Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad?
I vaguely remember them. They were like the Beetleborgs, but not as cool because they didn't have the Jay Leno ghost.
Right. Okay.
But this is all kind of after my time. So, I'm too old to, for that to have been something I'd watch. My nephew loved Power Rangers, so that was the show we had to have on all the time.
Didn't have any, like, I didn't like the show. I didn't like the look of it. What would you want to call it? Kaiju style of it? Like when they were in mech form fighting. I like old school kaiju movies, but that really clean, hyper colorful version of it, no, I just couldn't do it. I'm not saying other people have to not like it too, just saying. So I never watched it. I kind of feel bad for you. Haven't seen a whole bunch of it, man. Shit.
Some of it was all right. I mean, some of the chicks were pretty hot. Like I had a thing for the Yellow Ranger on Power Rangers. That chick was hot.
The Asian one.
Yeah.
And
the Pink Ranger was doable too. Don't get me wrong, but I had to watch a lot of the Power Rangers, but Ultraman is always going to be the best one.
Seraphim Scythe, nice name by the way. That's pretty cool. Seraphim Scythe, I like that. Love Spawn, the comic series, the movie. Do you have high hopes for the new movie coming, Jack? The new Spawn movie?
Not really.
I don't know. I've read the interviews with Todd McFarlane talking about it, and he says it's going to be more of a detective film than a Spawn movie, so not terribly supernatural.
Yeah, but he's a little too close to the project to trust.
Meaning?
You have to hype your own stuff.
Yeah, but who would know better what the movie's going to be about than that guy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that might be what the movie's about. Doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, I watched the Detective Chimp movie, but that doesn't mean it's going to be hilarious or awesome.
Oh, man, I watched that fucking... So Far and I have been watching 1970s commercials, right? And a commercial came up for Every Which Way But Loose, I think. the Clint Eastwood movie with the chimp.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. Oh my God, Jack. Jesus, Clint, what were you doing, buddy?
It's a product of its time, for sure.
He's Harry Callahan. It's not like this was at the end of his career. He was doing great at this time.
That movie was a success, Polly.
Yeah.
Standards are different. When you only have like 5 channels to work with, you're much more easily entertained.
That wasn't a made-for-TV movie. That's got no excuse.
No, but cinema's the same way. Now any asshole with a video camera can make a movie. You know, After Effects is a real thing. But back then, you had limited selections. So you had to watch what you're presented with.
I think you're wrong. Because not any asshole can make... That used to be the case like 15 years ago, 10 years ago. Now you have to have $250 million to make a movie, don't you? Don't you?
No, you can point to several success stories of like low budget films that do well. Look at anything on Sci-Fi Channel. You can't tell me those assholes aren't making money.
What are you talking about? Like Sharknado shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I don't... Can we stop? Okay, you know what? I want the first $500 million movie. I want the fucking studio system to spend itself out of existence. You know, like what happened with Heaven's Gate? Where the director, Michael Cimino, spent so much of the studio's money because they thought he was a fucking super genius after The Deer Hunter that they just kept giving him more money and more money and more money, and the film flopped, and it actually caused the collapse of the fucking studio. Yeah, that's what I want to happen. I want $500 million, not in promotion money, because they've already spent that when you combine production money and promotion money. They've already spent $500 million. I'm talking $500 million just to make a movie. Ultra Mega Super Avengers. It's so woke. Everybody in it's in a wheelchair. Like it. Yeah.
I think that is going to be called Star Wars 9.
You think that movie's going to flop?
I don't think it's going to make its money back at this point.
Ooh, Zombie Teddy says the Wilhelm scream for an alert. I'm going to do that. That's a good suggestion. You can't go wrong with Wilhelm. Especially, I'm going to make it murderously echo out into the distance. You know.
You have to have one that's like, you dirty rat, or one of the famous catch lines.
Thank you, Race, again. For a good laugh, Google Mighty Muffin Pounder Rangers. That's not a misspelling. It's the most hilarious parody I've ever seen. Jesus. After I saw Cinema Snob review Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the porn parody, I forget what it was called. It was just the Turtles banging April O'Neil, because, of course. Because what else is going to happen? Once you've seen Turtle Dick, I mean, I don't know, you're sort of done with porn parodies, you know what I mean? Like this.
Yeah. Some of them are kind of funny, others are just kind of lame. Like, you guys aren't even trying.
Oh, James Colley said something that wasn't deliberately lamely provocative. Be inclusive. Include Harlem Nights footage. Well, it's funny you say that. I actually, the last scene, are you a fan of Harlem Nights, Jack?
I vaguely remember it. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Oh, really? You should go back and check it out. I'd like to see your revisited opinion of that film, whether it holds up or anything for you.
That's an Eddie Murphy movie, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Written and directed. Yeah. And starring. Yeah. But like he grabbed all of his like comedic heroes from yesteryear, you know, to be in that film. So,
yeah.
Della Reese and fucking, of course, Richard Pryor, who was his true comedic hero. And, what's his name? Red from Sanford and Son.
Red's,
fucking blanking on the guy's name. He's got such a characteristic voice too.
Red Fox.
Red Fox. Thank you. Jesus. Yeah.
As soon as you said red, I was like, Red Skeleton. That's not right.
Red Buttons. That's who it was. We're not old at all. go down to the Friars Club and watch Soupy Sales do his thing.
It's sad that I know what all that means.
Yeah, I love old comedy, so you know, I've never even seen a Soupy Sales act, but as I understand it, he's like what, an old vaudevillian comedian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very dated humor by today's standards.
Yeah.
Like Flip Wilson and people of that era.
Oh, wait a minute. I do want to Evil One said to check the hashtag Noir Bar.
Yeah, there's some saucy Asians on there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go over there and do that. You know what? You know what would be nice? Some period ladies.
Gross. Oh.
No. I don't mean actual flappers from the 1940s. I mean,
that's not what I thought you meant when you said period.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Fucking. All right then. No.
Hey, you sent me a link. Remember that?
Yeah, I did.
It's all your own fault.
I gotta start reading the small print on these.
I'm supposed to tell you that chat is not scrolling.
Really?
Yeah, it looks like it's frozen. A couple people have mentioned it now.
Oh shit!
There's an arrow there. I think you got to click on it.
No, it froze itself. Okay. No, I
just panic.
I can't click. I can't click on it and interact. You're right. There's an arrow there, but like when you scroll up, the arrow appeared, and that's where it froze. I did that.
Nope. I vote for panic. It's too late. We're panicking.
Let's see if refreshing the cache of the current page will do it.
Let's find out.
We're waiting. It's refreshing. No, it's up. It's there. It's going.
Something's happening.
And is it scrolling?
I don't know. I can't tell. Nothing.
It's scrolling. Yeah. Woo! Jesus Christ, this is sad. Whew. What does that button do?
Just went black on my screen.
What did?
Yeah, Pete said try refreshing. Oh,
yeah.
Something's happening. Yeah, it looks like something happened there. I don't know.
Yeah, you're like 15 seconds behind.
I just work here. I don't know what's going on. My screen's obviously a little behind yours.
Yes, it is. It's scrolling. Trust me. You'll see it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there it goes. Good job, chat. You fixed it.
Thank you, chat.
I like Bubba Hotep's idea. Everyone panic, use the children as shields.
Yeah.
We call that the Hezbollah effort.
Well, they haven't been around that long. Who could be that attached to them? You know what I'm saying?
That's right. You can always get more. I was listening to Creepy Little Books Halloween stream. They were talking about boogeymen.
Mm-hmm.
And there were an inordinate amount of child abductors for boogeymen. Like people walking around with burlap sacks, just stealing kids. That's how you did it in the old days.
Well, you know, I don't know what it is with fairy tales in general, having nightmarish things happening to children. I mean, you got Hansel and Gretel, right? She put them in a cage and kept feeding them to fatten them up because she was going to eat them.
Yeah.
I mean, holy shit.
Yeah, or give them diabetes, one of the two.
Well, hey, as long as they're fat, she doesn't care about their health situation. Yeah, I mean, she's eating them.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just rude.
And remember the story? He took like an old bone that was in the cage and stuck it through the cage because the witch was half blind. So he's like, stick your finger out and let me feel how fat you've become.
Yeah.
And so he would stick the bone out so she would feel, oh, you're still bony. And therefore it would stave off the day that they were going to be stuffed into the oven.
No, that's not even the dark part of that. The dark part is the reason they were in the forest.
Oh, because what happened? Their parents like just abandoned them or something?
Yeah, the parents put them out in the woods to die because they couldn't afford to feed them. And then they felt bad about it, and the dad went to get the kids because they decided they liked the kids. And I'm like, holy shit, that's dark.
That's
like,
so
as a
dark.
kid, you don't recognize what that means, but you're like, huh.
Oh, man. You know what? I'm just seeing now in my chat people saying, The chat isn't scrolling down, says Evolved Potato. How many minutes ago did you say that, Evolved Potato?
That was like 5 or 6 minutes ago.
This isn't.
Okado said it a little while back.
This isn't. Like live stream through a tab. This is the fucking YouTube Creator Studio streaming that I'm looking at. My fucking God.
Garbage, man.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull over.
Become a monk?
There we go. No, I just pulled over OBS. Believe it or not, the chat that's being captured on the OBS screen is more up to date than the one in OBS Creator Studio. Because fuck you, YouTube. That's why.
I don't know why they keep changing stuff. It's very annoying.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Like, even a little.
Oh, yeah. Evil One pointed out there's a lot of the nursery rhymes like Rockabye Baby and Ring Around the Rosie. There's some really dark shit in there.
Well, yeah. At least those are nursery rhymes. They're not fully fledged out stories with all kinds of shit. The original, like, Little Mermaid? That don't end well.
Now, that one had kind of a dumb ending because it doesn't fit with the whole concept of fairy tales. That's one Disney actually fixed. Turned into sea foam. Nobody turns into sea foam. A stupid ending.
And there's no mermaids either. What's your point? That's what you had a problem with?
Yeah, the ending makes no sense. It has to make sense from a narrative standpoint. All fairy tales are conveying messages of some sort to the listener, and that's usually children. And it has to have some sort of appropriate resolution. And that one did not have it. It didn't fit with the narrative that it was trying to construct.
Yeah, I hear you.
They're moral tales, but that one, the morality tale, didn't play out like it's traditionally done in fairy tales. So from a literary perspective, it pissed me off. That's all I'm saying.
Of all potatoes says pull up your chat on your phone. Yeah, I got caught up with real life work stuff and setting up the notifications and trying to figure out how to use Studio Beta because I got force migrated over to it. So didn't get around to that. What I was actually going to do is use my second computer as a tablet to follow chat and other things like that. So that'll work out. Consider this a soft opening for a Noir Bar. They do soft openings in Vegas. They open like a week before they actually have the grand opening just to pick up all the fuck ups and fire the people they need to fire.
Oh.
You've never been to Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just never been to one of those.
Yeah, they have soft openings all the time. And that's what's going on here.
See, when you say soft opening in Vegas, I just assume there's a nerd girl in town.
No, that would be a tight opening. A soft opening would be an old girl.
She's soft in some places and tight in others.
Gross, Jack.
After 6 months, she's all used up and worthless because she's all loose and saggy and things aren't fresh anymore.
6 months?
Get the fuck out.
Wow. You run a pretty serious whorehouse if they're done in 6 months.
Well, you got to make your money. I mean, those girls aren't cheap.
You're supposed to be paying them, not buying them.
Potato. You capitalism your way, I'll capitalism my way.
Fair enough. Let me fix this now that I'm just sitting here with nothing better to do. Oh, wait a minute. That's not right.
Evil One said, I've been to Vegas. Well, my friends told me I was there.
Yeah, you're not supposed to have a very clear memory of what happened there. I'd call that correct. You went about it the right way. Polly studying the plot of Ocean's 13. Yeah, plot. That's so generous.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Oh, right. Yeah, the soft opening thing. Yeah, that's okay. That's a true thing about Vegas. There's a soft opening every weekend because no bar or of any kind, of any size, ever lasts longer than a year there. So there's like almost every weekend, or at least like every second or third week, every place has a soft opening, and they open for 2 weeks before they have their grand opening, just to fire everyone they need to fire and watch which lights are going to blow out. Some personal experience with that. I'm still sitting in here in the dark, by the way. In case you guys didn't know, I blew out all the lights. Well, somehow the lights in my house blew out today. I'm not sure what happened. Something to do with the circuit breaker. Jack seems to think there's going to be a fire in the house soon. I don't know. I think he's wrong.
If all your lights are on one circuit, there's a problem.
Oh,
I'm telling you.
I went and checked. The lights in the attic are still fine.
Well, that's a good sign.
Yeah,
But
I went and looked, and in the basement as well.
see, they're on different circuits. But if you have like multiple rooms on the same row, that's not right, man. Something's wrong. I'm not an electrician, but I know electricians, and that doesn't sound right.
No, it doesn't sound right at all. I mean, I ran a couple of tests because there's a few things that are unlabeled and they're clearly higher amperage circuits. So I'm like, I'm going to guess that this one right here is for the oven. So I turn it off and go try and turn the oven on and see if it works. And it's like, no, it doesn't. Cool. That's for the oven. Good. Somebody didn't put a standard circuit breaker on something that was pulling 220. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know enough about electricity to be able to figure out what the fuck's going on in there. Okay, look at that. That's fucked up. Oh, Jack. So what do you think about the casting in the new Moon Knight show, man?
I haven't seen it yet.
You don't know who they casted?
No.
Not some fucking honky cis male, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Mark Spector's a black man.
Why?
Well, here's the way I see it. And I predicted this, by the way.
Yeah, you did.
Right? It was She-Hulk. That's a whammon. Right? And she's a lawyer whammon. So, professional woman who's ain't going to take no shit from no man and don't need no man and could kill most men because she's like gamma radiated Hulk. And then there's Miss Marvel, who's also a whammon. And she's also young and a POC and Muslim. So, woke points. And then Moon Knight, the white guy who runs around like as a vigilante fighting crime in New York. One of these things is not like the other. And so my guess was that he was not going to be a white character in the television show. And he's not.
So instead, it's a guy that puts on a white hood. That's not going to backfire at all. Good thinking. Good thinking, Marvel.
Yeah, if you, my guess is that when you see the first production photos from the set, they're going to have remade Moon Knight's suit into not white but gray. It's gonna be a shade of gray because he would look too ridiculous live action running around in a gleaming white suit.
Yeah,
that's my guess. And then
I don't know why. If you want a black character, just put Night Thrasher or somebody like that in there. There's plenty of black characters in Marvel. You don't have to race swap them just for the sake of it.
There are so many characters to take advantage of in the Marvel universe. If you want to do POC characters, cool. There's lots to pick from. You want to do female characters? Yeah. Jesus Christ, there's a fuck ton to pick from.
Well, and they canceled that Ghost Rider show, which actually had a lot of potential because the guy that played Ghost Rider on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was great casting.
You know how much money Warner Brothers makes from their animated series features?
Oh, I'm sure it's a lot.
I was surprised. I looked into it and I'm like, this can't be very profitable, is what I was thinking. No, I was wrong, man. They sell like a motherfucker, the DVDs and Blu-rays.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing. And the license money that they get off of it to license it to streaming services and stuff like that. Holy shit. Marvel, the fuck is wrong with you?
They're dumb.
I mean, like, just Marvel, like, with the MCU, dominates over the DCEU. But when it comes to animated stuff, which is admittedly a much smaller market, but why would you turn your nose up at any market? Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's because they're stupid.
I mean, Moon Knight as an animated, a series of animated features, why aren't you all over this?
They don't want no whitey wearing some Klan outfit. Instead, they're gonna have a black guy do it.
It's, I mean,
And
chat, think about this for a second. They've got She-Hulk, which is exactly what it sounds like. She-Hulk, that says it all. You know what I mean?
well,
And then they got Miss Marvel, the teenage Muslim POC who has embiggening powers to grow her fists and punch things. And then they got Black White Moon Knight. Like, what the fuck? This is your new crop of shows? What the fuck?
that's terrible playing. The worst part that I just realized is, and I don't know if you caught this, Polly. There's a racial slur that's very similar to Moon Knight.
A racial slur.
Yeah, Moon Cricket.
The fuck's a moon cricket?
It's an old racial slur for black people.
It is?
Yeah,
That's a fresh one for me.
that's an old one from like the 50s. I heard an old man say it, and I asked my dad about it. He's like, "Oh, don't say that, son. That's about the blacks." So you know that's going to pop up as soon as you see a black guy putting on a white outfit.
Yeah.
Because a bunch of old timies are going to come out with that one, and of course the 1488ers and the alt-righters are going to throw that out. It's dumb. Stop race swapping. It's lazy.
It is. Well, yeah. Ramen Noodle says Marvel animated cartoons are decent enough. If you mean like, okay, like, I'm thinking specifically of the features. Like if you watch like Marvel animated series, yeah, the '90s Spider-Man was awesome. X-Men was awesome. I rewatched those,
Yeah.
and those were cool. They really worked, and even some of the later Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man and stuff were great. But like their features, they're watchable, but they're not like people super excited, and it's like, the Killing Joke's coming out, like, motherfucker, the Killing Joke's coming out, like they couldn't wait to talk about it, like people get all excited about it. Gotham by Gaslight was a fucking epic as an animated feature. It was so good. Really?
I don't watch a lot of cartoons.
You don't watch them at all, or what?
No, not really. I've seen a few of them, but I don't have time, honestly.
Oh man, you should really check out Gotham by Gaslight. It is so well done. It's fucking epic. Jack is so racist. He has 1950 racist jokes. Yeah.
I hang around a lot of old people. Their racist jokes are just stupid.
I hang around old people. You know how it is. I don't. So somebody mentioned, Ramen mentioned, no, it was Ryan Walters mentioned Fantastic Four. Jack, you've seen both the Fantastic Four films, right? Not Fantastic Four, not that one.
I've seen all of them. I saw the Roger Corman one.
Okay.
The old ones are the slightly newer ones with Johnny Captain America.
Yeah.
Chris Evans, and then I saw Fan Four Stick.
Fan Four Stick, yes. I legit, all jokes aside, enjoyed the the Corman one, Roger Corman one, more than Fantastic Four Stick.
Oh yeah, it's not even a challenge.
Like, yeah, okay, it's got some corny elements to it. Some of like the production values are pretty low, but overall, in terms of just general enjoyment factor, yeah, I enjoyed the Corman production more. Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely, because it was fun. It was cheesy and comic booky.
Yep.
Whereas Fan Four Stick, they were trying way too hard.
Yeah, and it
Way too hard.
when you can literally spot where the reshot footage is by virtue of Sue Storm's wig.
Yeah.
Because, Chad, if you don't know, okay, they film this whole movie, and then, as they often do now, some executive decides, nah, you need to reshoot that. So here's, $150 million more. Get all the actors back and reshoot all these scenes. So they get back the actress who was playing Sue Storm, and in the meantime, she'd cut her hair. So they put a really bad, really noticeable blonde wig on her. So if you... It's so obvious that you can tell what's original footage and what's reshot footage by virtue of her wig. And yowza. Damn, it's bad.
Yeah. Well, and the whole thing with making her and Johnny Storm like kind of brother and sister, like she was adopted, that was stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Like,
like
that is the most reaching and desperate attempt to put a black guy in a superhero film I've ever seen.
you've got the Fantastic Four, right? And they're all white characters. And two of them are, for fuck's sake, brother and sister. And you take one of them and made one of them black and then explain it through adoption. You guys suck. Really? Why didn't you
Yeah.
just make one of the main external? Well, it had to be one of the main characters, didn't it?
Well, why did they just make Reed black?
Yeah. Why? Yeah.
That would have made more sense.
Yeah. Or, well, no, they couldn't have. I was going to say, why not make Ben Grimm black? Because would be covered in orange rock, and that wouldn't be cool, because then you wouldn't be able to tell he's black.
Yeah, he would have looked like a giant Cocoa Puff.
Why would he have stayed black when he...
I don't know. Why not?
It's
not
not
Orange Man bad. I don't know.
It's not like Ben Grimm was orange before he became Rocky, man.
You don't know that. He might have been tanning before he turned into the thing.
In fact, I do know that, because you can see in the comics he wasn't orange before they went up and cut the cosmic rays.
Cosmic Rays got a wicked tan. Got a little carried away.
Was Fantastic Four ever really good? Grant Lionheart asked. In the comics, yes, very much so. They managed to really make
80s
it work.
work by John Byrne was really good.
Yeah. Despite the fact that the comic was never about their superpowers. It was about the level of threats that they dealt with, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It was the fact they had powers really came secondary to the stories and adventures and mind-bending level of shit that they got themselves into. They were always fighting like galactic threats, Galactus, for example, and Silver Surfer, and the Skrull invasions and so forth. It really worked.
Yeah, they started it in a time frame when a family-oriented book was much more of a big thing, like that Leave It to Beaver kind of thing.
Yeah.
With Reed being kind of like this older, almost father figure to Johnny, because Johnny was a young, impetuous teenager, and Sue's a few years older than him.
Yeah.
And it was more of a family-oriented book, and that was a more common thing in the 60s when that book came out. So it's a little dated by today's standards, but they made it work more often than not. I would say probably the first... I don't know, there were a lot of good stories throughout, up through John Byrne. After that, they got a lot of people that didn't really know what to do with the characters or how to handle them.
Yeah.
But like the trial Reed Richards, that's a classic.
Dude. And it's just a one-off floppy, man. It's not part of some super mega special $9 round number 350 400 nothing. It was just John Byrne being awesome.
Yeah, and John Byrne knew how to handle the Fantastic Four. He knew what to do with them. The people they've got now writing, like Dan Slott, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. You could tell he kind of likes the characters, but everything now is so they try too hard to ground it in reality, and it takes the fun out of it.
You know,
well, John Connors says because families are out of date these days. It kind of is like they've gotten away from pushing a traditional family unit. And I think they actually don't understand how to write a family. That it's not that it's out of date. It's just it's from a different time, and they don't know how to process that.
Well,
maybe I'm wrong, but that's just how it seems to me.
The only way I don't even think you're wrong. Like, it's just going to be current year Marvel. I don't even want to see them touch an attempt at a superhero family oriented thing, because you got Reed and Sue with Franklin, their son, right? And you got like the cool uncle in Johnny Storm, Human Torch, and then big Uncle Ben Grimm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I hear you. It's really set up as family oriented, and it works inside of that dynamic. Can you imagine what current year Marvel would do with that?
Oh, it'd be a dysfunctional family because these are abnormal weirdos writing it.
Well, yeah, it would. I mean, first of all, the parents would be lesbians.
Yeah.
And their child would be an 8-year-old transitioning individual.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
In the final issue, they all drive off a cliff like that one family in California.
What?
That was dark. Sorry.
No, what are you even talking about?
Oh, there was the lesbian couple that drove their 4 kids off of a cliff. You don't remember that?
No.
Oh, I'll find the article.
Jesus Christ. Like, that's what I'm like, is this a true story? What the fuck? Why would they do that? I don't even want to see what they'd come up with. I really don't. Gay Iceman still blows my mind. Not because he's gay, but because Cena Grace is willing, the writer of Gay Iceman Chat, is willing to write stuff that if anyone else wrote it, it would look like anti-gay propaganda. That Bobby Drake is such a flamboyant, insulting, condescending stereotype of what a young gay man would act like. He acts
like that dude from Will and Grace.
Yeah, he's a nymphomaniac. Can't stop talking about how sexy he thinks guys are. Can't stop talking about how hard it is to find a good man out there. How cute he thinks this guy is and that guy is. Always carrying on about his boyfriend. And he's flamboyant as hell. Wears little tight bicycle shorts, prancing around all the time. Like I said, if anyone other than a gay writer was writing this, people would think it was put out by people that wanted to make you think gays live up to every stereotype that you've ever believed.
Yep. Yeah, threw the article in both the chats there.
For lesbians off a cliff?
Yep.
Huh?
Lesbian cliff divers. And Hate Camel's right. It was 6 kids.
Oh. Well.
And they drugged them before they went over the cliff, too. So they're all sleepy. So if you hear me mention lesbian cliff diving, this is what I'm talking about.
Do you mention this often?
No, not really, but you never know. You probably know my reference base.
I'm future-proofing my references. It's fine.
That's right. It either comes from some random thing that I heard Monkey talk about, or a Simpsons episode, or some obscure movie that I watched once.
Oh, God. They're named the Hart family?
Yep.
Jesus Christ. Okay, Jack, let me ask you something.
Oh, no.
So you know the old television show Heart to Heart?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And you know the stars of the show, of course.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So you got...
Stephanie Powers and Robert Wagner.
Yeah, Robert Wagner. I was about to say low-rent Robert Urich. What's his name? So you got Robert
You're
Wagner.
not wrong.
I'm not wrong. So am I wrong that when Far and I are watching 70s commercials and an ad for Heart to Heart comes on, am I wrong for yelling, "Shut up, you fucking drowning murderer"?
No, but you always wait for that episode where he kills Stephanie Powers by taking her out on his speedboat. And then Christopher Walken makes a guest appearance. He's like, I ain't seen shit, dude.
Whoa. Okay, now I realize that there's multiple episodes where they go out on ships and there's a murder mystery. But Christopher Walken never guested on that show, did he?
No, but that would have been the final episode.
Okay.
That's how it ended. They had a heart to heart where he drowned the bitch.
For those of you who don't know, actor Robert Wagner is suspected of allegedly, probably allegedly, throwing his then wife, Natalie Wood, off of a boat.
Because she couldn't swim and she was drunk.
And terrified of water for her entire life, by the way.
Yep.
And she ends up drowning, the poor woman. And supposedly Christopher Walken, allegedly, knew what the hell happened on that boat.
He was on the boat, and it was alleged that Natalie Wood and him were having an affair.
So somehow Natalie Wood ends up in the water and drowning, and the autopsy showed that her blood alcohol level was absolutely above the level. And it's like, how'd she get in the water? And Robert Wagner's like, I don't know. And he was surprisingly undistraught by the whole matter.
Yeah, convenient.
He wanted to see if Wood floats. Shame on you, random American.
Well, she was obviously a witch.
Shame on you. Wait a minute, I thought witches float.
No, well, they dead ones. Everybody floats when they're dead. Clearly a witch.
No, once they get waterlogged. Oh, Far's in chat, and in voice. She knows all about Robert murdering ass Wagner. But she's being quiet about it. That's okay. All right.
She joined just to give us the cold shoulder. Nice.
She joined to hear that we talking about Natalie Wood and then left in anger. Nice. I see how it is. Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
There you are.
Yeah, no, I came in and I couldn't hear anyone.
Ah.
So I was like, okay, I guess I gotta reload the thing.
Jesus Christ, what is going on with the fucking New York Daily News? What is going on in New York?
What they do now.
These are the recommended articles down the side of the page. You ready for this? Here go the headlines.
No.
A woman with a history of dog sex has been indicted for bank robbery.
Oh, what's the Whitney, Wisconsin?
Is it that bitch?
I don't know. She doesn't look too good in her fucking mugshot, though. God damn.
So probability's up.
God.
Porn star Jessica James dead at 43.
Yeah, I heard about that.
NYPD sergeant stripped of his guns after his cop girlfriend uses Instagram to expose him. HIV positive teacher charged with hiring a hitman to kill 10-year-old student.
I'm sorry, what?
What? I'm just telling you what it says. HIV.
Did the kid give him the AIDS?
HIV. Hold on, I've got to see that.
No, you gotta read that one. No, we gotta know what happens here. What the fuck? Why did she hire a hitman?
Well, first of all, we have to read. Okay, well, we will read that story, but we got to read the story about the white lesbian couple that adopted 4 kids and then drove them off a cliff.
What? No. I want the funny one.
Wait a minute.
I want the funny one, not one where you're saying this is my future.
Far,
God.
It'll make the funny one funnier.
The HIV positive teacher trying to kill a 10-year-old student with a hitman is not funny.
I'm telling you, that kid.
No, that's
gave
pretty
her
fucking
AIDS.
funny. That's pretty fucking funny.
And then, as the final one, Maryland school nurse admits to having oral sex with 3 students.
Well, she was a good nurse.
God.
Oh, R. Kelly loses toenail to infection and misses a court appearance to prevent others from stepping on his toes.
Oh. That's just a bad pun.
Okay, Ray. Thank you, Race Johnson, for the donation. Fuck that. Oh, this is killing me here, guys. Oh my lord.
Don't fucking die.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to. Race Johnson. Fuck Bonnie and Clyde. We have Whitney, Wisconsin, and Anision. Steal from the rich. Give head to the dogs. Wow. Wow.
Those were things you did not have to type out, but you did anyway.
Wait a minute.
No, he had to type that out.
Jesus, they're just really bringing up the old stories. There's no telling what the date on any of these are, because up on the far left is Jam Master Jay of Run DMC killed in his Queens studio. Yeah, like over a decade ago.
Maybe it's a new one.
A new Jam Master Jay from a new Run DMC?
Maybe.
The man was a legend. It's not funny. It was tragic. They never caught the killers. It was tragic. They stabbed him to death in his own... shot him in his own studio. It's sad. And they weren't even there to kill him.
That sucks.
Yeah, man.
Talk about being a has-been.
Okay, so here's the full version of that headline. HIV positive teacher charged with hiring hitman to kill 10-year-old student he allegedly molested.
Told ya.
Oh. Dear Lord.
I brought God into it right away, too. What the hell?
This is less funny. This is less funny than I thought it would be.
All right, let's see where this...
I'm regretting everything now.
Hart family of 8 died by murder-suicide in California cliff crash, jury rules.
Oh God.
This happened in
None of
April
it.
of this year, or this article. A lesbian couple drugged themselves and their 6 adopted children before intentionally driving off a California cliff in what officials described as a Thelma and Louise situation. Jesus, that left
Yeah, it's better. Hold on.
Why? Jesus Christ. A special
Yeah,
coroner.
Thelma and Louise,
Yes.
but with children. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'd describe that as. Holy shit.
A special coroner's jury in California on Thursday unanimously ruled that Jennifer and Sarah Hart, both 38, killed themselves while their children died at the hands of another as part of their murder-suicide plot. The decision came after a two-day coroner's inquest and confirms authorities' previous assertion that the crash in Mendocino County just more than a year ago was deliberate. Quote, "It was my belief that Jennifer and Sarah succumbed to a lot of pressure," Sheriff's Lieutenant Shannon Barney told the jurors. "Just a lot of stuff going on in their lives to the point that they made this conscious decision to end their lives this way and take their children's lives." That's a very... Okay, what are you, their PR agent?
Yeah, but yeah, they were under a lot of stress, so they killed themselves along with their children. Yeah, no, that's not an excuse.
The fatal crash occurred just days after authorities in Washington state opened an investigation into the Hart family on allegations the couple were neglecting their adopted children. The bodies of both women were found inside their Yukon GMC at the bottom of a 100-foot cliff more than 160 miles north of San Francisco. The same day, investigators found the remains belonging to 3 of their adopted children. What? 19-year-old Marcus, 14-year-old Jeremiah and Abigail, also 14. Oh, 14-year-old Jeremiah and Abigail, also 14. The body of Sierra Hart was pulled from the Pacific Ocean a few weeks later, and the remains of Hannah Hart were eventually identified through DNA testing. The body of 15-year-old Devonte Hart, well known for the viral photograph of him hugging a white police officer during a 2014 protest in Portland, has yet to be found. Over the course of the 2-day hearing, witnesses outlined the night of March 26, 2018, explaining to the jurors how the pair of women intentionally drove their vehicle off a cliff with their drugged children inside. Timothy Rowcliffe, a California Highway Patrol crash investigator, told juries that the computerized data recorder inside the car revealed the driver floored the gas pedal ahead of the crash. The vehicle had been idling for about 2 seconds, then accelerated for another 3 before it drove full throttle for about 50 feet, then off the cliff. It landed on the rocks just 2 seconds later. Our analysis of that data was that it was consistent with an intentional act.
Zombie Teddy thought lesbians like Subaru Outback.
Wow. Okay.
Well, what they're leaving out is these kids were adopted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of them were special needs.
Oh, really? Well, yeah.
I'm in agreement with Blonde from Blonde to the Belly of the Beast. She had the theory that they adopted these kids for virtue points. Like, look how good of people we are.
Yeah,
and then it got really hard.
Yeah,
all of their kids.
No, I could believe that. I could absolutely believe that because it's one of those things of adopt 1 or 2 kids, maybe 3, but once you start, but like 6 kids.
But they live in Portland.
Not all of them were special needs, but
but like, then you add the special needs kids into that.
Yeah.
So that's 6 kids, and then some of them are special needs, and it's like, well, how special needs are they?
Well, they like the attention from people giving them accolades, like, "Oh, you're adopting this kid. Oh, that's so wonderful. Oh, little Billy here's got special needs. Oh, you're so brave. Oh, this kid's black. Oh, you're so stunning." But then that wore off when you had to do the day-to-day grind.
Yeah.
Well, as the police person there, Shannon, said, a lot of pressure. So, California Highway Patrol officer Jay Slates testified that GPS data taken from the family's car showed that they stopped at Walmart, where Jennifer purchased generic Benadryl in both liquid and pill forms. Sarah, who was the passenger at the time of the crash, had at least 42 doses of the medication in her system, according to the toxicology report. The children, meanwhile, had anywhere from 9 to 19 doses of the medication in their body when they died. Additionally, Jennifer, who rarely drank, had a blood alcohol level of 0.102, or the equivalent of about 5 beers for her body weight. The
Oh,
children
man.
were more than likely unconscious, he added. Sarah would have been extremely intoxicated at that point. A search of Sarah Hart's cell phone also pointed toward the act being intentional. It contained Google inquiries, including, can 500 milligrams of Benadryl kill a 120-pound woman? And is death by drowning relatively painless?
Oh my god.
She also searched for no-kill dog shelters, likely implying they were searching for a place for their pets in preparation for their future absence.
I'm sorry. So you're looking for a no-kill shelter for your fucking dogs. But no, your kids, they die with you.
Yes.
Fuck you,
Well,
lady.
Since this was a family annihilation thing, they obviously didn't consider their pets to be family. And that's barbaric.
Yeah, I
There's also just
I
the
can't get over the
logic in that
fact
of,
that
like,
they had a greater
just the
extension
logic
of.
in it, though.
I mean, their extension of their compassion went further for the dogs than for the kids.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's what I'm getting at. It's like you want your dogs to live, but your kids, no, fuck them.
no, this
They
was
go
a
with
murder
you.
suicide. They were punishing the animals for the rest of their little animal lives. They're going to be known as the animals that weren't loved because these people like killed themselves. They took the whole family. They didn't take little fight out. You know, like fuck you, dog. We don't like you. That's awful.
All of this is awful. Polly, why are you reading this? This is just fucking
Yeah,
depressing.
Polly.
Jesus
Jeez,
Christ.
dark, man, dark. Make one mention of lesbian cliff divers. Next thing you know, we're talking about dead families.
I'm sorry, who sent the article?
Yeah, is
Oh,
this
that's right. It was you.
Is this supposed to be you going like, see, this is what you have in store with Platy in the future? Murder suicide. It's like, god damn, Polly.
Whoa. No one said that until you
Yeah,
did.
I don't know where that came from.
No, I'm just like
that got
I
uncomfortable.
feel like this is where this is going, Polly.
we were having a good time talking about comics,
Hmm.
and then shit got whoa.
Yeah, we talked about cliff divers, and Polly
Yeah,
didn't
and
get
then
the
you
reference.
start reading this. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Well, we were gonna read it before you came in,
Yeah.
so
And blame Jack. He sent the article, for Christ's sake.
yeah, I did. It was funny. Still funny. Not the article, but Polly's reaction to it.
Get this.
This is why you shouldn't let people adopt without very good vetting.
Well, they were lesbians. That makes them a good parent.
No, that doesn't mean they're good parents. I don't care who you're banging or scissoring with. Doesn't matter. Are you stable mentally? You should be in charge of children if you can't handle them.
Are you gonna go cliff diving anytime soon?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on drugging children and driving them off a cliff?
Thank
Oh,
you,
well, that
thank you,
sounds like
Race.
a pretty
Thank you,
good
Race
idea.
Johnson. Dogs aren't cool enough for our suicide pact. You think that was it?
Oh.
They were questioning how
Well,
How
I'm
cool
telling
their
you,
dogs were.
when you're driving down the street, you don't have your dog buckled in. So they're like, oh, that dog's going to fly up and hit me in the back of my head, and I'll be pissed off on my way down.
See, they're taking guesses at the thing because I closed it because I didn't want to read that depressing shit anymore. But they said it was a Thelma and Louise situation. Actually, what the officer said, if you read through the full article, New York Daily News being, attempting to reference something in pop culture that people will understand, said there's no awareness whether it was one murderer who killed her wife and all of the kids, or two murderers and one of them decided to knock themselves out, or both of them pacting together and taking the kids out with them.
Okay, yeah.
They don't know which
I
way
feel a
it
bit more
was.
better about that, at least. I mean, it's still shit, but if it was just one of them doing it, then it's like, well,
What?
one of them's a shitty parent, but I don't know.
So I love the headline that they go for with the clickbait. Subway manager fired for allegedly turning down black teen, saying she didn't want, quote, those people in her store.
Oh, I remember that story. Those were the kids that were dining and dashing, weren't they?
I don't know.
I bet it was.
See, you read this article, and you know what they're getting at, and this is the essence of clickbait news. Because I saw the picture, and I immediately thought, wait a minute. Is that a picture of the manager, or is that a picture of the person who was turned down for the job? The manager is black. It doesn't say black Subway manager fired for allegedly turning down black teens, saying she didn't want those people in her store. They leave out the race of the manager and then mention the race of the prospective employee, implying that they weren't of the same race. Well done, New York Daily News. You're scum. How does it feel? You fuck. And when she said those people, yeah.
Yeah, they're problem customers. It was at Chipotle. Thank you, Hey Camel. That was Chipotle I was thinking of.
The manager responded to questions about Simmons' appearance, who was the applicant. Black girl, long dark hair, she wrote, before adding shortish. Quote, oh, no thanks. I don't want those people in our store, lol. The manager allegedly wrote back. So they don't actually have the tweets or emails. This is just someone's recollection of them. Simmons was frustrated by the Subway manager's racism. Self-hate, I believe it would be. In the face of her efforts to better my future. Like getting a job at Subway? Okay. My mom has always been dedicated and driven, and that's how I was taught, the 17-year-old added. When I see an issue that is vulgar and very important, it needs to be pushed. It needs to be shown. Like, this is unacceptable. By Monday, screenshots of the text. Oh, they do have them. More than 17,000 times. The manager of this location was immediately terminated for her actions. The franchise owner has reached out to the young woman who applied for the position and can encourage her to consider reapplying. The former manager's actions do not reflect the openness and values shown by Subway, the Subway brand, blah, 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 blah. A high school student who... Weekend. Yeah, Jesus, whatever.
So, just bullshit? With more bullshit?
I don't know. I don't even want... I'm just... This all... That fucking lesbian story just depressed the shit out of me. I don't want to read this HIV positive man hiring a hitman now.
Because you did before? That's pretty dark, man. You found that one on your own. I just gave you the lesbian cliff diver reference.
You sent me the link. I didn't ask you to.
No, but you didn't know what I was talking about. I had to clarify.
Oh, wow.
You didn't have to open it.
The hitman wasn't just to kill the kid. It was to kill the kid and the whole family.
Whoa! That's an extreme reaction. Fuck.
Wait, was the kid's parents lesbians?
Is this what happened?
I think I may have
No, but the
two cases here we can put together.
But notice what HIV positive teacher charge. Why doesn't it say black HIV positive teacher charge? Because he is.
Oh shit.
Because does that matter? Well, no, because it's not part of our race baiting, clickbaiting story. He was gay. It was him and his partner that wanted to hire the hitman. Does that make it better? They're not lesbians, but they are gay.
What is it with this gay crime? Jesus.
It's gay crime day here at the Noir Bar.
Sweet.
So was this a boy or a girl that he molested?
I'm probably not going to say because it's a kid.
But it'd probably be a boy though if he's gay.
Well, let's just avoid guessing at stuff like that. That's
Well, it's a safe guess.
If this happened out west and the whole family died in a cliff diving accident, I think I've got a suspicion as to what happened.
The gays targeted the lesbians?
Yes.
Do you remember Alton Sterling?
That name sounds familiar. Is that a shooter?
He was shot by Louisiana police back in the day, like 4 years ago.
No.
Cameron Sterling, 18-year-old son of Alton Sterling, arrested for allegedly raping an 8-year-old.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
God, the New York Daily News.
Gay crimes and kitty crimes, like, God.
Hey, come on, Far. You said you're tired of the lesbian crime. We moved on to some gay crime. He got upset with that, so he went to the kitty diddlers.
Yeah, because the gay crime involved kitty diddlers.
Holy
She just
shit.
went to straight up kitty diddler. It's like,
Yeah,
oh
it's a
god.
slow transition to get there, but you know.
I got
Later we'll move into the Slender Man stabbing. That was all kids.
Oh god, that one. No. At least she survived. Jesus Christ.
yeah, I'm done reading those. Like, I don't want to read anything from fucking the New York Daily News ever again. Son of a bitch.
Did you see the photo Daily Wire sent out that caused all the problems with the dog getting the medal from Trump?
The one where it's reversed? Where
No, I showed you that one. The one where Trump's putting the medal on the dog.
no, what was Daily Wire's version?
That was Daily Wire's version. Was the dog getting a medal?
Okay.
I'm asking if you saw the articles about that.
Oh, gotcha. No.
You didn't see that New York Times fact checked it?
Oh, Christ of all potato. How many times are you going to fucking ask that? No, the answer is no. Okay, go on.
I was just asking if you saw that New York Times fact checked it.
Oh. And that the dog didn't, in fact, get a medal?
Correct. They actually fact checked it. How sad is that? Oh, Far, could you say kitty diddler again?
Kitty diddler.
It does sound funny when she says it either one.
I'm all dismayed and confused now. That fucking lesbian mass murder thing really got to me.
That was back in April. That article was written. It happened before that. Like, this is old news, Polly.
It's new to me. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. Got me freaking out at poor fucking Evolved Potato over nothing. Like, Jesus Christ, man, that shit got to me. That was just fucked up. They adopt 4 fucking black kids, and they of all different ages, from 19, turn 19 under their adoption, all the way down to fucking young, just to do it, and mentally challenged kids at that, and then they fucking kill them all. What the fuck?
Yeah. One of them, their body was never found.
Yeah.
So it's just a little dark, but you know, that's why if you're driving along the Pacific Coast Highway, watch out for lesbian cliff divers. That was all. The entire joke I was trying to make was lesbian cliff divers, and then we went down this really creepy rabbit hole, and now Far's upset. We got chat having her say kitty diddler.
We are all upset.
Jack's not upset. It takes a lot to get to him.
I don't care.
And he read it back.
He's upset.
He read it back in April.
Upset.
These kind of stories don't escape Jack's attention.
No, this was big news. Like, Lords of the Night covered it. I think me and Monkey talked about it. Beauty and the Beta talked about it. It's been everywhere. Lesbian cliff divers. Although I'd have to say Blonde in the Belly of the Beast was absolutely my favorite, with the harsh critique.
Okay, slowly waiting for this page to load up.
Ryan Walters, let's be honest, they had a criminal head shape. They probably did. You gotta watch those people with criminal head shapes, man. They're out there.
Woman plunges 60 feet to her death from a waterfall after touching moment with boyfriend.
Oh,
that was awful. I read about that.
Whew. Man, it's just
depressing story after depressing.
I tried to change it, and you guys won't let me.
What are you going to change it to?
The funny meme about the dog, and you guys are like, yeah, whatever. I don't care about that. Let's talk about sad shit some more.
I think that's more Polly doing that than me.
I'm not gonna lie. That story shook me up. So I gave voice to the fact it shook me up. I regret nothing. Son of a bitch. Shrouded Angel really knows how to pull in the darkest of the dark stories. Woman caught neighbor having sex with her cat after hearing pet screaming.
Well, his name's Shrouded Angel.
Yeah.
What did you expect? I mean, that implies some dark shit right there.
Well, I mean, Far's on Twitter is upside down harlot. I don't think that she's a whore that walks on her hands.
Well, I don't know what she does when she's bored.
Just saying.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Oh, man. Yeah, okay, I'm going to give up on that now. Whew. Oh, what the hell's shaken but not stirred in chat? Jordan. Yeah. Oh, shit. I forgot to. I'm going to leave that up. Jordan 250 sent out a funny picture of the embiggening thing. That's awesome. In any case, I think it's... I just want to run this stream as a test on Halloween Eve here. What do you got cooking for Halloween there, Jack?
Nothing. I'm boring.
Nothing, you're boring.
Yeah,
I don't believe
I'm
that.
just sit around and watch movies and read comic books.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, watch something Halloween-esque.
Yeah, all my DVDs are in storage, so I can't find anything to watch.
Oh.
So I'll probably just put on some Netflix.
Well, yeah, there's plenty to find on Netflix. And when all
Did you hear about the drug bust we had here?
In your house?
No.
Oh.
In Montgomery County, down by Dayton.
Was it meth?
44 pounds of fentanyl.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of fentanyl.
That's enough to wipe out the entire state of Ohio several times over.
Ooh, Circus Zero's the first to hit sexy Jessica Alba in her bra and panties, writhing around on a bed. Well done. And he just said, I sent ya article. Okay, let's check it out. I don't understand why my fucking browser is so frozen. Oh, I know why. It's because fucking Studio Beta is open in another tab in the same browser. And guess what? Studio Beta requires twice the system resources that the former Creator Studio did.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great,
your,
huh?
Your potato needs to be replaced.
I would... It does, but it doesn't get any better. I mean, all of the issues that I had tonight weren't potato related. They were all entirely YouTube Studio Beta related. I mean, far. I don't know if you heard, but to capture chat, I have to open the stream and pop out that chat. Because the chat that's in Creator Studio, or the new Studio Beta, it doesn't accept custom CSS code.
Fucking yikes.
Yeah. So it's like another 3 steps to getting a live stream going. Wonderful.
3 steps out of how many again?
I don't know. 20, 25, something like that. Is it such a shock that Weibo, amongst others, decided to go over to StreamYards?
Not really, because goddamn.
Oh, Far.
Hmm?
I think Jack wants to hear about the Lorax of the trannies.
The tranny lore. It's not that interesting.
I think it is. I think this is the most brilliant name ever given to somebody ever. I think it's hilarious.
There was this asshole that Jacob, Eve, and Platty ended up interacting with on Twitter, and he was basically just kind of pissed that they thought tranny was a fine word to use. Okay, that's why he blocked them. And I thought the conversation was done, so I just kind of responded to the thread just as a joke of, oh yeah, says tranny is a bad word. Blocks 2 trannies. Logic. Cool. And he comes back at me and he's like, the way he's talking, he's talking as if I called him a transphobe and all that.
Well, you
He's like,
implied
yeah,
it.
I didn't even imply it. It was just sort of like, yeah, your logic there. But so he's like, so why is it so bad? And I just responded, well, I think it's funny that you're being the Lorax for trannies, and yet you block 2 of them. Like, that's it. He was.
Really quick, Voltato says there's
He's
only
the Lorax. He speaks for the trannies.
Happy Halloween to you as well, Brian. And Voltato only has 4 hours of Halloween left. That's... Yeah, okay. Yeah, that math works out. That sucks. Hope you did something well for Halloween.
Yeah. I didn't know if Australia celebrated Halloween.
No, we don't. Not really.
I thought it was, but just not bigly.
Yeah, it's one of those weird ones where it's like, it kind of is, but it's just not big. But you don't really see kids walking down the street.
Ah, come on. That's a fun holiday. Yeah, sure. They'll be sweltering in the 1,000,000-degree sun that you guys have.
It's actually kind of cold right now, so...
Oh, it's down to what, 75, 80?
No.
I don't know how to convert that to Celsius because I don't care enough.
I can check the temperature. It's like 57 right now.
Oh my god, it's awful.
It's cold.
57 degrees Celsius?
No, Fahrenheit.
Oh, thank Christ. Jesus, fuck.
She'd be in Antarctica.
Kid says it's an excuse for a piss up. I like that. That's a great thing to take a holiday that isn't really a big thing there. Well, sure it is. It's a reason to get drunk. Yeah, Zombie Teddy's like Australia is already scary enough. Exactly. There's fucking a million different creatures that are all trying to kill you. Half of them are fucking poisonous. Yeah, it's fine in terms of frightening surroundings.
So I think they don't have Halloween because they know the kids will dress up like emus.
Today
scare the locals.
Oh, it was your day off of all potato. You stayed at home playing games. Yeah, I look forward to playing games when I have a reasonable computer. Honestly, I just got a setup of like 5 different Western games that I want to play. I'm just going to be lost in like the 1870s, 1880s of the Western frontier for like 6 months in gaming. That's going to be my fun.
Wow.
Hey, they look like fun games. What do you want from me?
Nothing. I'm not judging you.
I don't know. The Western games just have more appeal to me than the sci-fi ones do. Even the horror games and the mystery adventure games seem to have more fun for me have more appeal to me than anything sci-fi spaceship related.
Dress up as drop bears. Go furry.
This is the story that you sent to me. Holy shit.
Who are you talking to? Say a name.
No, I was actually talking to myself. Like, well, Circus Zero. I was like, my God, this is the story that you sent me? Come on.
Is it that bad?
Let's just say it's not a fun, free-for-all Halloween story full of candies and good memories.
So is it like lesbian cliff divers?
No. It's
on a scale of 1 to lesbian cliff divers.
On a scale of
that's a good
AIDS
question.
hitman for 10-year-olds to lesbian cliff divers, how bad is this story?
But that's a bad scale because there isn't much that fits between those because that's tragic.
It's a great scale.
If 10 is lesbian cliff divers taking their whole fucking family of adopted children with them, what's 1?
A 1 would be the dog getting the medal. And a 5 would be a gay dude hiring a hit on the family of a kid that he diddled.
But not actually achieving the murder.
Exactly.
Okay, I would say this story then is about a 7.5.
Okay, that's
8.
We're speeding up toward the cliff there.
So, yeah, we're racing towards the cliff.
All right, we've all got our Benadryl. We got our seatbelts off. We got our Benadryl in. We're ready to drive.
We left our pets at the no-kill shelter. Let's go.
Right.
Okay, here's what I think a 7 or an 8 is. Nearly 500 children have been infected with HIV in a single Pakistani city. Here's what we know.
That sounds like Pakistan's standard
Excuse
medical
me?
safety oversight.
Yeah, you know that Pakistan has like rampant HIV spread, like in terms of epidemiology, right? 500 children in a single Pakistani city have tested positive for HIV in an outbreak that has led to the arrest of at least one doctor and highlighted gross inadequacies in the local healthcare system. Led to shock from no one.
Did this doctor and his partner also put a hit out on one of those kids?
All 500 of them.
I
They all
may
hit out
have
on
found a
them.
connection.
Holy fuck. According to reports from the Associated Press, parents... wait a minute. I just jumped over it trying to get out of the way of the autoplay video, you bastards at time. As of mid-May, 410 children and 100 adults in Larkana, a city in Pakistan's foreign province, had tested positive for HIV, the Associated Press reported. Those numbers have climbed since 494 children and 113 adults, according to NPR. So how did more than 600 people in one area become infected with HIV? Here's what we know. According to reports from the AP, parents in April began to notice lasting fevers in their children and took them to a nearby medical center for testing. Around April 24th, 15 children ages 2 to 8 had tested positive for HIV. Recognizing the seriousness of the issue, really, local officials shortly thereafter set up a healthcare camp where children and their parents could be screened for the virus. The results of the screening within the first few days were shocking, he wrote. The test revealed that the parents of the HIV-positive children were HIV negative, raising questions about how so many children became infected.
Probably recycling needles.
Yeah, I could see it. Was there vaccination going on at the time or blood testing going on at the time?
No, he might have just been given random like flu shots or something. He's just reusing the same needle.
Many of the children who were originally tested positive for HIV had been treated in the clinic by Dr. Muzaffar Gangaro. After demands from parents...
Gangaro?
I don't know.
I don't trust him.
Does he specialize in gangrene?
Yep, sounds too much like gangrene. I don't trust that doctor.
Well, yes. And after demands from parents, Gangaro was eventually tested for HIV. The results came back positive. Whoa. And here is what is suspected. That he was the source of spreading HIV in the kids through bad practices. Gangaro was arrested on suspicion of intentionally infecting his patients with HIV.
Oh, fucking hell.
But
yep, Circus, you nailed it when you said this is a 10. Polly doesn't understand how the scale works.
No,
I'd say this is about a 9, because at least it's not a death. It's still shitty.
Yeah, I mean, there are no dead kids yet. But I guess that it is a slow lingering death.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
Yet.
Can I just say...
It is kind of a yet sort of thing.
I want to put on the record that I think the whole scale sucks. I just... fuck the scale. That we're even scaling these things is a horrible place we've come to in our lives. I mean, Jesus.
No, we need to continue the scale. The scale is fine.
Well, Circus said he was reusing a needle by trying to clean it with steam.
Yeah, well, hold on, because I haven't read through the article.
If it's Pakistan, then yeah.
He was cleared of the intentional spreading of HIV rather, but found guilty of criminal medical negligence. Gangaro denied the original accusations. Officials have pointed to medical negligence across the local healthcare system was likely the cause of the outbreak. Many of the local officials have blamed quacks in apparent reference to a large number of unqualified individuals. Possible causes include clinics run by quacks, the use of a single syringe for multiple patients, and the use of the same drip set for multiple patients, Sadiq wrote in his op-ed. So he was guessing, basically. He added at least 61 unsafe clinics have been sealed and more than 29 healthcare centers warned in the wake of the outbreak. I don't get how he, being HIV positive, like, did he use the needle on himself and then just...
Yeah, he could have done it potentially, but there's also... Got to remember, in a lot of these countries, I think we all know what kind I mean, they have a serious problem with pedophilia.
Yeah.
So he might have been molesting a lot of these kids.
Well, yeah, you know what's wild about this? Because, okay, my mind went there, right? And it's not, we're talking in the general far out rural areas. And not that Larkana is rural itself, but the people are coming from out of Larkana to get medical care there. That's what the story makes clear. They're not using auto-lock syringes. Have you ever seen one of those where it's got the cover that slides over the top and it locks in place? So to get it to go back down, you have to snap the needle, which will cause the body of the syringe to break as well. So it's can only be used once functionally. And it's like, yeah, those are a good idea and really inexpensive, actually, because it's just molded hard plastic that has a different locking mechanism in it.
These are third world areas that are massively underserved with modern medical, not only experience, but equipment.
Woo,
and knowledge.
Yeah.
The knowledge too. It's just
this guy might just not understand. Like the medical standards are very, very different. He may not know what sanitation is because a lot of places still don't even believe in germ theory.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Zombie Teddy brings up an excellent point. If he was in California, it'd just be a misdemeanor. He's not wrong. He's not fucking wrong. Good point, Teddy. Motherfucker. I mean, it doesn't matter that he did 500 people. The legislature passed that in California.
Yep. And they'd probably reduce it down to one charge.
I'm sorry, Zelthor, but we gotta just restart California. Just start it new. Just get rid of all this.
Yeah.
And just oh god.
Yeah, Gilcotto, I'm leaning towards his suggestion. You need to add more data points to the scale. That'll make your sanity easier to maintain. Yeah, let's go 1 to 100. How about that? Then you can.
But you want me to make a scale? I'll make a scale.
No,
I'll add it. You know, you can go right next to my neighbors.
That's what came to mind right away. I've seen your propensity towards categorizing and quantifying death far.
Yeah, well, I can do it.
Well, if lesbian cliff divers are a 10, what's 100? Jesus, Polly.
Well,
what the Holocaust?
Let's modify it.
Well,
let's modify it. So let's say lesbian cliff divers isn't a 10, it's more of a 90 or something like that.
Well, you're not leaving enough room for like Holocaust then.
Well, okay. Where is it on the scale?
I don't know. Let's go with The Last Jedi at 100 and work our way down.
The Last Jedi is at 100. I don't think The Last Jedi is on the same scale as Holocaust.
Well, I wasn't involved in the Holocaust, and I didn't have to watch it. I had to watch Last Jedi, so I'm personally affected by that.
You know what I watched the other night?
Good effort to change the subject.
No, it's Star Wars. You brought it up. I watched Shards of the Past. Darth Vader Shards of the Past, that fan-made 15-minute short.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, that was that good. And I don't mean just because of the violence. Just like somebody sat down and thought out a story that would be compelling based on character traits and attributes and interesting things. God forbid, huh?
Well, he is a disabled man, so there's that.
Yeah.
So he's got some progressive stack points.
Is this a linear or logarithmic scale for getting ass? Seems linear. Because if logarithmic, then a 10 would be orders of magnitude worse than the 8 that I suggested. The 500 kids with HIV because of the one.
Yeah, I think
lunatic doctor.
I'm trying to actually think of how to put this. I don't actually know.
Cynic. I said I wanted a flu jab, not a poo jab.
You know what's funny? Of all Potato just said, that just sunk in what you just said, Six. Oh, fuck. Anyway, that totally broke my train of thought. Where was I going with it? Oh, Robin Noodle says Last Jedi was actually better than people give it credit for being. I could edit that movie. A lot of people could, and cut out certain key things that are just like when you cut out Admiral Gender Studies there, Admiral Oldho. played by Jurassic Park lady. What's her name?
Laura Dern.
Laura Dern. You cut out some of her more obnoxious statements and you just hear other people referencing her as being a great general and never actually listen to the lines that they gave this great general to say that make her sound like a spiteful, angry old bitch. You know, her interactions with Poe Dameron, for example. Cut all that shit out. Cut out the entire trip to the casino planet where it's really just about like eco-friendly messages plowed through to the audience. And that would cut out the majority of Ting Tong Wing Tong screen time there. What's her name?
Rose Tico.
Rose Tico. That's not my joke. The internet made that one. I'm not racist. Jack's racist.
What?
You would cut out about 45 or 50 minutes of the movie right there and the slow-moving, annoying parts. That movie would be eminently more interesting. There are long slogs of that film where you're just bored as fuck. I mean, it's 3 hours long and really doesn't need to be. That whole excursion to the casino planet is completely unnecessary. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing. It's just to give Rose Tico and Poe Dameron something, or Finn something to do.
No, they had to free the space ponies so that we could see them in the new movie.
Oh man, you could have just had them prancing around in the background and included them as a line of toys.
No, space ponies, Polly. You don't understand how important they are to the trilogy. Space ponies.
Just because you see them running up the side of a Star Destroyer in the new trailer doesn't mean they're going to be a key component of the film, man.
Space ponies! It's going to be the hot new thing. Like My Little Pony will be My Little Space Pony.
Oh, I see. It's to appeal to the girls, so they got the space ponies.
Yeah.
I see.
They got a girl riding a space pony with her luxurious fat rolls rippling in the wind with her hair.
Well, yeah, well, Potato says the movie would only be 30 minutes long, but more interesting. Yeah, but
You're right.
it would be reduced past the distance of a feature film, but would actually have been something worth it to sit through. It wouldn't have received half the hate that it did because all the crap happens in the stuff that should have hit the editing room floor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ryan makes a good point. That movie's going to have space horsecock.
But yeah, I guess the bronies would be excited by it too, Gilgato. Fuck. This movie just better be something reasonable. I just mean for their own sake. How bad can you trash the unruinable franchise? Star Wars? Fucking awesome. Worldwide phenomena. Oh, great. We're Disney. Let's just fuck it up. What the hell?
Bronies in space.
Nobody wants that. I'm glad the furries have left Chewbacca out of their thinking. You ever wondered that?
Don't give them ideas, dude. Don't give them ideas.
Think about it. They're giant humanoid furry animals. Why aren't they all about the fucking Wookiees?
He's so big and manly.
We've broken down to conversations about
well, we went from lesbian cliff divers to Chewbacca being a furry fetish.
Well, Chap brought the furries up and you brought the lesbians up, so I remain blameless here.
So lesbian furries?
Lesbian furries. I'm sure there is such a thing, but I don't want to know about it.
Well, to beat the lesbian cliff divers, we gotta have brony lesbian cliff divers. And they'll need to get 2 extra special needs kids in there too, just for good measure.
Jesus.
So they can make it a whole short bus. Yeah, they could call it the Brony Short Bus Express.
You know what? Gukata says, you don't think the Han Solo Chewie naked shower sharing was furry bait? Like from the Solo film. You know what I can tell you about Solo? Not much. I did see it eventually. I didn't see it in theaters. It was just, I had no interest and I kept forgetting because of my lack of interest. And then I saw it after it came out on Blu-ray. And fuck, man, I don't remember most of it.
It was just a space heist movie. If they hadn't called it Solo, it would have been fine.
It's completely stricken from my memory. I remember some of the No,
I have that
I don't
with
remember. I barely remember
Spider-Man
any of it.
Far From Good.
What about Spider-Man Far From Good?
I have that problem with it. I can't remember it.
Yeah.
So
I remember some of the
Babylon Bee
fighting
had a great-
scenes and a lot of the airplane scenes, because that whole scene with them flying over there just took forever. That was like 25 minutes of screen time, just them on the plane on the ride over.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was Marvel 2019 comedy, like, you know,
Yeah.
quick little quippy back and forth jokes. Everything's supposed to be Avengers style comedy. Anyway, I think it's time we wrap it up and close up the bar.
Well, I want to recommend everybody go check out the Babylon Bee. There's an interesting article about President Trump awarding a medal to Chewbacca.
Mm-hmm. And,
Yeah,
and take it 100% seriously. Fact checkers do.
Yeah. Oh, the fact checkers will absolutely take it 100% seriously.
I imagine Snopes will be all over this one. They've checked 2 Babylon Bees already, haven't they?
Yeah, at least.
Whew. In any case, we're going to wind this one down. For those of you who do have Halloween awaiting you tomorrow, by all means, go out there and drink. Have a good time. Watch something scary. And if you haven't seen Halloween 1978, I highly recommend it, man. That film is full of fucking tension. It's great. I'm a big fan. When I first saw it, I was surprised. I thought it was going to be Freddy Krueger corny. Not at all, man. It's fucking frightening. Like, there's no gore in it. It's meant to be like, rising tension, suspense, and it works really well for that.
James Colley, you bring up a great point before we close out. Space ponies are just as bad as an idea as space sea monkeys.
I agree. It's too bad. Well, I guess all the better that space sea monkeys have never been included in any science fiction anywhere.
Except for Neelix and Voyager, on Golden Voyager.
Oh, that's right. You still don't understand. He's a space leopard. Oh, that's fine.
He's not a space leopard. Leopards are cool. He was an out-of-shape, pudgy, whiny, hand-wringing little weenie. And that says sea monkey.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
Ergo, space sea monkey.
Sea monkeys have brought delight to children the world over and are a mainstay of classic comics advertisement. You leave sea monkeys
They're a
out
mainstay
of
of comics advertisement, I'll give you that. But brine shrimp have brought entertainment to children. No one ever received an actual sea monkey.
So you're saying
they are the charlatans.
So you're saying
world.
It's the depiction in the ads that you're going so hard against here?
No, I'm going to the fact that the sea monkeys are charlatans, just like Neelix. He portrays himself as a so-called space leopard, when in fact he's a space sea monkey and a liar. And a fraud.
Your denouncements do not equate to what Neelix has or hasn't said, man.
I'm just saying, it's a sham. He's a space sea monkey pretending he's a vicious kitty cat, which would be awesome, but he's not. He's not awesome at all.
Well, I mean, you got Jessica Alba pretending she's a sexy human cat girl, and we all know how much anime fans have been looking forward to cat girls. Well, it already happened in the form of Jessica Alba, and it was a complete flop, even though she went into a horny heat once a month. Go figure. I don't know. Yeah, Far, you were too late to catch that whole part when we were talking about Dark Angel.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It's an old television show that she was in that you should probably leave alone.
Before you were born.
Oh, okay.
No. That's not true, Jack.
I don't know. I don't know how old she is.
23.
Are you really? You're that old?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Is that old?
No, I just thought you were like 18 or something.
No. No, I'm 23.
Oh.
Wow,
well.
even on the internet, people think I'm younger. That's funny.
Jack, we already talked about this. I told you how old she was. You said I could be her father, remember?
Yeah, I don't remember. That was like a day ago.
No, that was like a week ago. So lifetimes ago, basically.
Yeah, I had the attention span of a fruit fly.
Yeah, and you don't even drink, man. This is
no. I should probably start.
I got an excuse. What's your excuse? Jesus.
Indifference mostly.
See, Gilcato's a Dark Angel fan. I watched it, and it was for Jessica Alba, not for the storyline. Just saying. In any case, so yeah, we're gonna wrap up the bar, and as we always say, how about this time? You don't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. So if you have some Halloween left, drink it up and watch a horror movie, or at least something suspenseful. If you have Halloween tomorrow, drink, be safe, and watch something horror if you don't go out with friends and drink there. I'll be drinking tomorrow night. I don't know if I'm going to be opening Noir Bar. I might after I get back. Then I'll be drunk. Oh, God, but then I'm going to have to open it with this new bullshit studio beta garbage. That'll be tough as fuck when I'm drunk. It was hard as hell when I was sober. Anyway.
Sober.
Thank you very much to everybody who donated. Greatly appreciated. Tipping your bartender is essential to keeping this ramshackle place open. And I'd like to thank the people who kept me company at the bar. Namely, Jack from Bad Comic Reviews. Thank you very much. And Farzusmi, who came in about halfway through, but we appreciate all stumbling drunks. And for everybody who kept the bar...
I've just got a glass of water. Ice cube. Fuck you.
Well, Pete stumbled in drunk, and the barman, or the doorman, didn't allow him in. You have to have a talk with Corn Pot. There's certain people he's got to let in no matter how drunk they are, and Pete's one of them, goddammit. Ryan Walters is working on Halloween. Well, okay, then make the next night after that, hellified crazy. Go nuts with it.
Just don't go lesbian cliff diving.
No. But it's weird that you felt the need to tell people that.
Well, I don't know what people do in their free time, but if you're feeling like going cliff diving, talk to somebody, get an Uber, and drive safe out there. It's a dangerous world.
And thank you to everybody who kept the bar populated and interesting and lively. We always appreciate it. So, come back next time we open up. We'll be happy to have you here. And I'm thinking of doing it at a minimum twice a week and regularly scheduled. I'm trying to figure out when the best times to do that would be. So people can, expect it and such. Followed by jokes about how I'm constantly late.
I was just going to leave that one sit for the audience.
Someone was going to get there, Jack. It's fine. In any case, have a good night, everybody. Enjoy your Halloween. See you next time.
Bye.
See ya.